it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. At the end of the last episode, I mentioned that I wanted to talk about Pokemon Day, but I couldn't because it was already running like 20 minutes long and it's too much, so I just decided I would talk about Pokemon Day and Pokemon in this episode. Last week was Pokemon Day, which celebrated the 25th anniversary of the first release of Pokemon. And honestly, I feel like it has been longer than that, because I remember playing Pokemon Red, and I have a vivid memory flash of finishing Pokemon Red on the front porch of my grandparents' house in central New York. Now, I know that makes it sound odd, but obviously I am elderly, so when I say that I was finishing Pokemon Red on my grandparents' front porch, I was an adult. I was out of college, and I'm playing my Game Boy. So, but that was the only one that I ever, completely finished, because as more Pokemon games came out, I kind of went off the series because they were all the same. And I've said this in previous episodes. If you're a long-time viewer, you know that I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, because all the games are the same. And, so I would get bored. And then there was one of them, I forget which one it was, I don't remember if it was an earlier one or the DS one or something, where I played, it was probably on the Game Boy Advance, and I played to the end, where it felt like the end of the game, and then they were like, congratulations, now you can do this part, and I was just like, you know what, I've been playing this for ever, I'm good, I don't need the end game content, I'm done. I'll consider that the end of the game. But mostly I would try a new Pokemon game when it was on a new system, to see if this one would be any different. You know, I got it on the DS, although I think at the time I was writing for Gay Gamer still, and so I think I got a copy of Pokemon White for free from Nintendo. And then there was the 3DS version, which I was excited about because I love the 3DS, and I was so disappointed that only half the game was in 3D. The battles were in 3D, that was it. The actual game itself was not. And I know I'm one of the only people who ever actually played their 3DS in 3D, but that was the whole joy of it for me, because I love 3D. So that was very disappointing for me. And again, I think I only made it halfway through the game, because it's literally the same game every time. They just add new Pokemon, obviously, which are never as cute as the original Pokemon, but that's just me, I'm old school. And then they add things eggs and breeding, and you can change their size, and there's, shiny Pokemon, and then that does nothing for me. I don't care. I would like a new gameplay experience. Which is why I'm a little intrigued by the new Pokemon Legends game that has been announced, because it's supposed to be an open world adventure game before Pokemon were a thing. So it's you're discovering the Pokemon in the wild, and catching them and categorizing them, and basically building the very first Pokédex. And for me, that's that sounds kind of interesting. That could be fun. And I saw people online discussing it, and somebody was like, oh, this will be great because then it'll be a different kind of game, because there's no gyms, and there's no gym leaders to battle, and there's no Pokemon League and all that stuff. And then somebody pointed out, they're like, well, they could just call them something different, because there aren't Pokemon gyms yet, but they'll just call it something else, and you'll still have to capture Pokemon and battle people one by one as you work your way up the ladder. And yes, that's probably true, but I am hoping it is not how the game is going to play, because I would actually like a different experience. I would like something more akin to an open world RPG where you're free to explore and capture and explore Pokemon and figure them out and catch them and learn their abilities and whatever, and do various missions along the way that don't involve battling gym leaders, or whatever they're going to call them. So I'm slightly intrigued by this. The open world aspect has me intrigued, because even though it just sort of looks like Breath of the Wild, but with Pokemon, I think the exploration aspect could be very cool. It just depends. I've got to wait and see what the actual game is going to play like before I decide whether or not I'm going to try and waste my money on it. Though I am actually legitimately excited for April 30th and the release of new Pokemon Snap. Because I loved Pokemon Snap. I had it on my N64, and I was very excited, and like, I'm a full-grown adult taking my cartridge around the corner to the Blockbuster from my apartment. There was one right around the corner from my apartment in Brooklyn, and I went to Blockbuster and I put my cartridge in, and I printed out my stickers. I no longer have the stickers. I can't find my sticker sheets anywhere. I could only find like the little cards that you use to put into the machine at Blockbuster to print your stickers off your cartridge. But I very much enjoyed Pokemon Snap, because it's not a Pokemon game. It has Pokemon in it, but it's not the same Pokemon game. You just take pictures of them, and it's very cute and fun. So I'm looking forward to new Pokemon Snap, and while I would enjoy a game where you were like, you know, freely exploring an island full of Pokemon to take pictures of them, I get it. It's on rails still. You'd think that we could get rid of the rails by now, but I get it. Because that's part of the game, is that you have to keep looking, and you have to like try to catch these moments, these random moments of Pokemon, and try to catch them on film, and it's kind of cool. And while we're not going to get like virtual photography stuff where you can tweak the lighting and the zoom and the angle and everything, I'm assuming we'll get stuff like frames and stickers and stuff to dress up our pictures, and maybe a gallery to display them in. It'll be very cute. But yeah, I am looking forward to new Pokemon Snap, because I don't know. I just am. And then, of course, I am still playing Control and Animal Crossing, and I did want to just mention one last thing about Animal Crossing, that I've discovered recently that I haven't gone visiting islands in a long time, and I haven't opened up my gate in a long time, but over the past month I was like, oh, let me, you know, open my gate while I'm like playing and see if anyone wants to come over, and nobody ever came over, and I was like, alright, nobody wants to come over, that's fine, I'm not going to take it personally. But then I would see one of my friends would pop up a notification that one of my best friends, because if they're your best friends, you get a little notification when they're online, and I was like, oh, let me go visit them. And I would go to the airport, and then Orville would say, oh, Drumsticks, there's no place we can send you right now. And I'm like, but I have, like last night, I literally had 2 friends who were active with their gates open, and I'm like, hello? Like, why can't I go there? And it wouldn't even try to send me. He would literally just be like, no, I'm sorry, there's nowhere I can send you right now. And I'm like, what is that all about? And I don't know what's going on, because I am connected to the internet. I even tested the internet connection again, even though I'm like clearly online, because I could see my friends and who's playing and whatever. And I know that I am a member of Nintendo Online because I just renewed it. So I'm befuddled. And the only thing I can think of is that back at the beginning of February, we had a lot of trouble with our internet, and it was like a week before Spectrum figured out what the actual problem was and was able to fix it. It was an area-wide problem in our neighborhood. But at one point, a technician came out and like checked our connections and everything, and he fixed a wire that he said was damaged, but it wasn't really that damaged. But he also gave us a new modem and router, because ours was probably a couple years old at that point. So he's like, here, have a nice shiny new modem and router, and it'll work much faster and nicer. And it is better. But I'm concerned that there's something about this new router that isn't allowing, like, why it'll let my Switch connect, but it won't actually let me play online for some reason. And I don't know, because I don't know enough about technology, I don't know what that could be. But that is my concern. So I'm going to keep trying, and then maybe I'll call Nintendo's helpline and see if they can help me. I don't know. But I am a little bit concerned about that. So if you have any ideas or any thoughts, please let me know in the comments, because I'm a bit befuddled and concerned, because I would like to visit my friends. I don't care if anyone visits my island, because mine's kind of boring. I don't do any of that terraforming and stuff, but I like to see what they've done, because they do all kinds of cool stuff. I'm very lazy, and I like the natural look, so my island is boring if you come and visit it. Yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts, because I am concerned. it would be nice to visit islands again. So that's it. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to mention regarding Pokemon is on Pokemon Day, I decided that evening that I was going to screen Detective Pikachu for my husband, who has never seen it. And he was like, "Oh, do I have to know anything about Pokemon?" And I was like, no, it's fine. You just have to understand the concept of Pokemon and maybe recognize a few of them, because that's half the fun, is like seeing them alive and running around the screen. And like, I was super excited that Psyduck was like a major supporting character. I was like, yay, Psyduck, because he's one of my faves. So, like, you just have to know it. But he did not like it at all. He hated just the whole plot. Like, he was just like, no. It wasn't that it was Pokemon or anything. He just, no. He didn't like the movie at all. So I was sad. Because I think it's adorable and a lot of fun. And I love its, like, the noir pastiche of the detective story and everything. It's very fun. And then there's Pokemon, which is cute too. And they're really well done. And I thought it was clever and fun. So my husband doesn't know what he's talking about. So that's it for this week's episode, and I will see you next time, and we'll talk about something else. I don't think I will finish Control by next episode, but you never know. Bye!